next on News 4 Tucson at noon. A serious summer storm soaks parts of Tucson, flooding streets, filling up washes, and putting rescue crews on high alert.
And the Tucson deluge continues, John. We have a new flash flood warning for the northern part of the Tucson metro. We'll show you where it is and have live radar looks coming up.
Also, a controversial transfer of child immigrants creating chaos in Oracle, pitting neighbor against neighbor with kids caught up in the middle. News 4 Tucson at noon is next.
Caldwell & Ober is a law firm here in Arizona that represents individuals in Social Security disability claims.
Winning a disability hearing is a great feeling. Walking out with the client afterward, sharing in the good news with them, a great weight's been lifted off their shoulders. They've got a whole lot less to worry about now.
If I know I've won a disability case, I know that I have changed a person's life.
Caldwell & Ober, 1-866-731-2262.
Long before the monsoon rolls across the Sonora, News 4 Tucson is on storm alert.
Every hour, every afternoon, the News 4 Tucson Monsoon Prediction Index will let you know what to expect long before each storm arrives.
A timeline of what to expect each day and when to expect it.
Then track each storm in high definition as it moves across Tucson and southern Arizona with News 4 Tucson Skynet.
News 4 Tucson's weather and traffic app and KVOA.com constantly update traffic hotspots and threatening conditions.
Monsoon 2014, News 4 Tucson. First in HD. This is News 4 Tucson, live at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm John Overall. Allison has the day off. Opposition in Oracle, a community up in arms about the planned arrival of Central American kids without parents. They're being bused to Sycamore Academy, where they will be housed until Health and Human Services can figure out what to do next. Coming up a little later in this broadcast, we'll have much more on the flood of Central American children crossing the border. But first, we have to check on the monsoon. Big storm sweeping through Tucson today. Danielle Lerner live in Midtown with a look at this summer storm. Danielle.
Hi, John. Certainly a busy morning already for fire crews really all across Tucson. We are down here off of the I-10 in St. Mary's. I want to give you a look at the Santa Cruz River now. The water definitely flowing this afternoon. Actually, Tucson Fire's tactical rescue team was just down here a few minutes ago. They were telling me they were basically waiting on standby to get the next call. It's just kind of been that kind of a morning going from one place to the next. I want to show you some video now that we have of some video that we captured earlier this morning. One of those spots was off of Drachman and Oracle, just washes overflowing, roads flooding in a matter of minutes, really. Also, there was another swiftwater rescue call that was called out near Congress in St. Mary's. They didn't end up finding anything there, but that kept fire crews busy. I was also up on Silverbell in between Ina and Sunset. Several washes all down Silverbell washed out and really shut down. Police officers standing there trying to get people from going through those washes. So even though it is letting up just a little bit from what it was like earlier, still very wet out there and flooded conditions. So just a reminder to stay careful, or be careful if you're going to head out on the roadways going into this afternoon. John, we'll go ahead and send it back to you.
Danielle, thanks much. We actually do have a brand new flash flood warning I want to get to. Meteorologist Jeff Beamish. Flash flood warning. This is for Oro Valley, Catalina, Dove Mountain, Oracle Junction, Saddlebrook until 1:45 this afternoon. We also have an urban and small stream flood advisory. This is for north central Pima County and south central Pinal County until 2:15. This includes Tucson Estates, the west side of the Tucson Metro, Picture Rocks, and Avra Valley. So washes and streams definitely running. You saw it there in Danielle's live shot on the west side. Live look at Doppler radar. And really, this has been an eastern Pima County event through the morning and early afternoon hours. Most intense storm right now is over the Oro Valley and Catalina area with rainfall rates over 1 inch per hour. We had a rainfall report from Moore and La Cholla. 1.42 inches in less than a half an hour. Now, Tangerine Road on that side of town has a lot of low water crossings. If you are planning on heading out here the next couple of hours, you may want to avoid Tangerine Road. Those washes are definitely running. Moderate rain continuing. Marana right on down Sandario Road, 3 points. Valencia Road. This activity is trying to push off very slowly to the southwest at about 10 miles per hour. Notice, though, on the southern slope of the Catalina Mountains, we're seeing more thunderstorms developing and pushing off to the southwest. So the northwest side, you're not quite done yet as these thunderstorms continue to develop. And I think once this passes over the next couple of hours, that'll do it for storm chances the rest of your Tuesday. What does Wednesday have in store? How about a break from the monsoon? We'll show you why coming up in just a few minutes. John.
That quick surging storm that swept through town earlier had rushing water filling the streets. News 4 Tucson's Brett Pagansky was right in the thick of it.
You saw it, then you heard it. Torrential downpours hit the metro Tucson area just after 9 o'clock Tuesday morning. Streets nearly unrecognizable. One prime example is Second and Stone, where sidewalks looked more like sandy beaches, gutters overflowed, and cars idled with caution. While the monsoon lights up the sky,
at one point, all 4 curbs were underwater.
Tucson police block off the street and officers move traffic to the opposite direction.
This is not a pond, this is not a river. I'm at the intersection of Maple and Main, and as you can see, the street is open backed up, but cars still having a very difficult time passing.
Hey guys!
For now, officers feel it's safe for cars to pass.
We get called, we get called.
That's until they get the next call. Brett Pagansky, News 4 Tucson.
More on the monsoon coming up, but right now we get back to that major story developing in Oracle. Today, dozens of Central American children were scheduled to be transferred to the Sycamore Canyon Academy. Residents are protesting that move and hoping to stop Homeland Security buses from entering the facility. News 4 Tucson's Lauren Reimer is live in Oracle right now. So, Lauren, what's the latest out there?
Since very early this morning, protesters began gathering here on Mount Lemmon Highway. Now it's starting to die down now, but as many as 150 people were here earlier today. The protest has been relatively quiet up until this point, but just over an hour ago when pro-immigration groups showed up, they walked through the center of the protest, stirring up emotions. They've been speaking now. The protesters have been speaking out against the current child migrant crisis. After word got out, a bus of more than 40 unaccompanied minor children would come down this street. Protesters have threatened to stop it before it reaches a new shelter in Oracle.
You're just lucky! You're not better! None of you are better than them!
I won't obey the laws. He changed someone.
So you want him to break it and not give him due process now? Give them. You want Obama to follow?
They're spending now this money to upgrade this camp for illegal aliens when they won't do it for our own American boys. Spend our money on Americans first, vets first, kids first.
Never intended to send buses of children today. They want to do some updates to that facility before they're sent here to Oracle. Lauren Reimer, News 4 Tucson.
Well, not everyone is opposed to moving these kids into Oracle. Dozens of people showed up early this morning to show their support for those young immigrants. News 4 Tucson's Monica Garcia has been talking to some of those who gathered to welcome the children. Monica, what's the latest where you're at?
Well, good afternoon, John. I don't know if you can see behind me, but many of those pro-immigration supporters have made their way up here side by side the protesters. Others have dispersed to different locations, but there have been clashes throughout the day. Nothing violent. I spoke to one supporter who says he realizes he can't change anyone's mind, but that everyone has a right to due process.
That these kids have the right to due process. If they're seeking refuge, they have the right to due process, to have their day in trial and prove credible fear. They're not coming illegally. They're not trying to elude Border Patrol. They're turning themselves into Border Patrol seeking refuge.
And we'll be following this developing story as we learn more details. Reporting live from Oracle, Monica Garcia, News 4 Tucson.
Monica, thank you. Now we've got some quick facts about these kids you may not know. By law, Health and Human Services must provide custody and care for them. Under the Homeland Security Act of 2002, Congress transferred the responsibility of unaccompanied children from Immigration and Naturalization Service to Homeland Security. In 2012, 7,000 to 8,000 kids were processed. In 2013, that number jumped to over 24,000. And for fiscal year 2014, that number is projected to be up right around 60,000. As refugees continue to flood border state detention centers, the first group of undocumented immigrants was sent back to their native country on Monday. On Capitol Hill, 2 Texas lawmakers have just unveiled bipartisan legislation to try to solve this big problem.
We got about 12 days to get the job done. We have an emergency bill. Let's put the resources that we need to put down there, and not only for the border, not only for judges, not only for ICE, but also for the Latin America countries, and I just got back from there. So it's a full funding appropriation that we have to do emergency bill, but we still have to do policy changes.
On Capitol Hill, there are still some sticking points over how much to spend and the broader issue of who gets deported and how fast. Congress has just 3 weeks until summer recess to get this done. Still to come.